I'm about to do a taste test on this beer here. It's called the Big Red One. The date today is October 26th, 2016. It's 1:47 a.m., so it's kind of really October 25th, I guess. The Big Red One, right here, is a 2-gallon kit from Mr. Beer. I made it on July 24th, so that was 9 months ago. And when you read the instructions, I just barely opened this, I hope they're the same as they were 9 months ago. It says bottle conditioning, 6 to 9 months, right? I followed this thing to the letter, and I put it in, I just said that I brewed it on July 24th. That's not the case. I actually put it in bottles on July 24th. And it's a very expensive beer, right? I mean, $47.37 for 2 gallons of beer. But this was before I started doing a normal-sized fermenter. And it's, this expense, you're paying at least as much for 2 gallons as for 4 gallons. So I switched to a fermenter, a large fermenter, right? That size sort of thing. And got myself the kegerator. But here we are at month number 9 for this Big Red One. So it's time to break out the frosty glass, give it a pour. And I should say I'm expecting this not to be very good, right? Because I hadn't been brewing very long when I made this. Who knows what mistakes I made? I can name at least one mistake I made. I remember realizing it like 12 hours after adding the yeast. I realized that I didn't aerate the wort in any way at all. So, who knows? This may just be totally bad after 9 months. But we'll see what happens. Lots of carbonation. Bottle was really tight when it was warm before I put it in the fridge. Looks like a Coca-Cola. Now it's going to seem weird when it doesn't taste like a Coca-Cola. We'll take a look at... let's see if we can find a brighter light. How about that one? How about if I don't spill it? It's not so bad. Look at that. You'd expect after 9 months it to be really clear, and boy it is. It looks just like Coca-Cola. Look at all those bubbles. I'm starting to feel a little better about this. I hope I'm in the frame. I really should get a snifter for tasting beer. Because once you, and I shouldn't have just gone straight down to drink it either. Once you get it in your mouth, the things you can get by smelling the beer. So my camera just shut down on me, probably because I wasn't using my camera, and it probably timed out or something. I'm actually just using a screen recorder with the camera software loaded right now. As I was saying, if you taste beer before you get a good whiff of it, you kind of lose the ability to pick up some of the things that you would smell before tasting. And you just can't get that back for a while. Anyway, this thing's got some qualities that, in a way, make it seem like, to my mouth anyway, one of the best beers that I've made. But there's something about the flavor that I don't like. And it's taken me a few minutes while I was getting my camera restarted. Let's see if it's still going. That's good. It took me a few minutes to kind of figure out what that was. And what I think it is, I think it's got high alcohol. And as I'm thinking back, I guess I can just go into the back to the web page and see what I'm looking for. I remember making it exactly to instructions. I think it is a high alcohol. Yeah, look at that, 8.3. Now I don't know if you've tasted, like, there's a lot of Canadian beer around where I live. There's Una Brew, for example, that comes from Quebec. And there's some really high gravity, some high alcohol beers here in Utah as well. There's one called Devastator, which I actually pretty much like. It's a a porter, though. Or is it a stout? I can't remember. I think it's a porter. And it's really good. But this one, I don't know, this red ale stuff for that high of alcohol, I think that may be the drawback for me. Anyway, cheers to Mr. Beer. I'm kind of surprised at the fact that it actually came out, at least to my mouth, to my taste buds, amateur as they are. I think it came out pretty good. I'm fairly surprised. So I've got, I don't know, 9 or 10 bottles of 8.3% beer. That'll keep my kegs from draining for a while.